So good morning, everyone. Welcome to the WNC Communities Coffee Hour. And I'm excited today to have a few very seasoned fundraisers here to speak to us about what are the hot tips on fundraising. So before we get to that, let me go ahead and share our agenda for today. All right. So our agenda, little welcome, that's this. We'll break out in a minute in some groups and do what we call sip and chat. And that's just a chance for you to meet other people from other communities and have a chance to connect. And the idea behind that is really trying to build a culture of we're in this together and we feel comfortable picking up the phone and calling each other and sharing best practices so that we can be the tide that lifts all boats. After that, we have a presentation. We have a couple of speakers this morning that I'll introduce later. Then we'll have time for Q&A, and if there's any time left at the end, we'll have a discussion. And finally, we'll just do a quick checkout to find out what you got out of today's coffee hour. All right, so we're about to break out into rooms, and when you get there, what I'd like you to do is introduce yourselves, obviously, and a little question for you to consider is, how are things going with fundraising in your community? And what are you hoping to learn today? So let me go ahead and put you in breakout rooms. It's going to take me just a moment. So we're going to have 10 minutes. So no rush. Enjoy your time together. And here we go. Welcome back, everyone. Great. I hope you all had a chance to meet someone new and connect. All right. Great. I see some smiling faces and heads nodding. That's great.
Yeah.
All right. So let's continue on with the next part of our program. Pull this up for you. So on to our program today, which, as I mentioned, is about fundraising hot tips. And we've got two of our top 5 fundraisers, actually, from last year based on our honors applications. We have Terie Girolamo from Cedar Mountain Community Center and Marsha Boyd from Upper Laurel Community Center. And I'm going to introduce them one at a time as they present. So starting with Terie. Terie has been active at Cedar Mountain Community Center for 6 years. She's currently the vice president. She actually moved to North Carolina from Texas, where she raised longhorns, if you can imagine that. I asked her, was she still doing any cattle raising now? She said, no, I'm retired and I'm spending my time running around with grandkids. So we're grateful to her for presenting today. Just to give you a little context, I looked at all the community centers and how much they raised, and Cedar Mountain is our 5th best fundraiser with $9,400 raised in 2021 from that July to June time period. So we're going to hear from Terie. How did you guys do that? All right, Terie, let me spotlight you so that everyone can see your smiling face.
Hello.
And just let me know when you want me to pull up the slides.
You go ahead.
All right.
So let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay, it's all yours.
All right. We produced calendars as you can see, in 2016, we did photographs of Cedar Mountain. In 17, we did black and white historical photos. And in 18, we did photos of local wildlife. As we went through, we actually found that the black and white historical calendars were our best sellers. And you can tap your resources. Anybody in your community has old pictures that you can utilize for the calendars, and the cost is minimum. We raise $2,000 to $3,000 each year through our calendar sales. You can change the slide. Then we did annual donation letters. In 2013, we sent out letters to 3,000 residents, and we only received contributions from about 250 donors. So in 2019, we actually, 2014, we actually purged our mailing list to focus on current residents and persons who had previously donated, and to make sure that the addresses were correct. When you send out your donation letters, make sure that you include an addressed return envelope with your letter. And your letter should have an area for receiving credit card charges. The letter that we sent out asked for their support and included the events and projects that we had already completed and that were on the schedule to be accomplished. Our average donations from letters have been between $3,000 and $5,000. After we received the donations, we also followed up with a thank you letter to each donor.
Wow, fantastic. That's impressive.
Mhm.
Then we have an annual auction. Our auction is to benefit our scholarship program. We have 2 scholarship programs for Cedar Mountain students. One is an academic scholarship program and one is for trades. And in 2017, we raised $1,985. In 2019, we raised $2,793, which was increased because we decided to add a silent auction onto our live auction. But we found out we had too many live auction items and we were losing the audience's attention. So in 2021, we focused more on the silent auction than we did on the live auction. With the live auction, we just got a few gems, such as artwork, furniture, and we have a mystery basket that people bid on, don't know what's in it. But the bid items for the silent auction range from physical items such as baked goods, hand-sewn items, games, paintings, carvings. We also had service items included, such as lawn mowing, handyman work. We had Airbnb rentals, restaurant gift certificates, bike tours. So procuring these items was done by pounding the streets and phone calls and just asking people. I mean, you're getting your hair done, ask your hairdresser if they want to donate something. You're getting your tire repaired, ask your tire guy if he'll donate something. And you'll be surprised at how well it's received. We also do special meal fundraisers. In July, we do a chicken dinner fundraiser that averages about $800 in income. The cost of the chicken's donated, so most of it's all profits. We didn't do one with COVID going on, and we haven't done one this year. We're actually have a meeting today to decide if we'll be doing that. In October, we have a barbecue fundraiser, and that brings in around $1,000. The barbecue is donated, so the rest of the volunteer members make the sides, so everything is profit. And then we also do grants through the county. In 2018, we got connected public space with phone internet service for the community. And then in 2018, we paved our parking lot with the grant. 2019, we covered our patio. 2020, they weren't doing any grants due to COVID. And then in 2021, we ended up with new carpet at the front door, and we're going to be replacing our floors. We also do during the year, we do other small events, flea market. We rent our center for weddings, HOA meetings, AA, birthday parties, etc., which also brings in some other money. So this is how we do, this is what we did, and how we did it was the most important thing I feel is getting the word out to members and area residents about the fundraisers that you're going to be having. We're fortunate we host a potluck dinner followed by a program of community interest one time a month through April through November. And this gets the community involved and up to date on upcoming events. It lets them know what events are coming up and what the proceeds will be used for. It's also a good time for volunteer recruitment. And the second most important key, I think, is advertising. Word of mouth, talk it up at church, at the grocery store, with other organizations you belong to, at lunch with friends, just talk about what you're doing and what fundraisers are coming up. We advertise in the newspaper. One of our members writes for the Cedar Mountain News, so there's no cost involved. So I would say reach out to whomever your community news writer is to put your events into their news program. We also use the internet. Use your email, Nextdoor, Facebook. We have a community calendar online. We also do old school and post flyers at local businesses, at the post office, at the grocery store. And the third most important thing, I think, is hardworking volunteers, which probably should be the first thing on the list. Without those volunteers, you're never going to have a successful fundraiser. And the fourth thing, I think, is being able to accept credit card payments. If you don't currently, look into it. There's a lot of companies you can use, and it's a minimal fee for what you get in return. So that about sums up what we do and how we do it. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Great. That was a lot of fantastic information, and I'm sure that people have questions. So please unmute yourself if you'd like to raise a question. Barbara, yeah, go ahead.
So, wait a minute. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to ask about your calendars. How do you produce them?
We use a calendar company. Okay. And we gather the photos and submit them to the calendar company, and they produce it.
A company locally or online, or
you can, there's a lot of them online that you can utilize, get the best, depending on how many pictures you're going to put in, what type of pictures you're going to put in, whether they're going to be color or black and white, and get the best price.
Thank you.
I'm curious, as a follow-on to what Barbara just asked, you said that I guess the pictures are all donated. So the amount you raised that you stated, I forget how much it was, that was after taking out the expense of producing the calendar?
Yes.
Fantastic. Great. Thank you. Who else has a question? I may not be able to see you all with the way my screen is set up, so unmute yourself and just fire away.
I would like to ask, what did you ask for the calendars? Was there a certain amount of donation or what?
$15.
Very helpful.
Thank you.
Who else has a question?
And do the people in the community donate the pictures? Do you make it sort of a competition? And are they adults sent in pictures, or are they children sent in pictures of the area?
The pictures that we have been using are historical pictures. So we contact the older persons in the community, and they go through their files and pull out pictures that of historical buildings that were in the community and people that were there at the time. So it is something of interest historically for the community.
Thank you.
When you choose a calendar company, do you have a way of knowing what the quality of the pictures or the calendar picture will be?
I personally didn't work with the calendar company. Clint Owings was the one that did it, and he's done it for several years. I can certainly get that information for you if you want to leave your email address, and I can forward that on to you.
Okay.
This might be a good moment to explain the chat. So if you look at the bottom, on mine, it's the bottom of my screen. If you pull your little cursor down there, a little toolbar should pop up. It kind of, on mine, it's right in the middle. It looks like a little call out balloon, like if you're looking at the comic strip. Click on that where it says chat, and that'll open up a little window on the side of your screen, and you can type into that if you want to type your email address to Teresa, or if Teresa, you want to share yours.
Okay.
I know I do a family calendar, and all the companies, Shutterfly and all those sort of places, you just upload the pictures and you can crop them according to what you want to, and then you just sort of tell them how many you want, you know, and obviously as you were saying that the more you purchase, the cheaper the price. And, you know, I've used 3 or 4 online companies, and I've really never been unhappy with them.
Very helpful. Great. Any other questions, you guys?
And I know one thing that I found out is if you are, I'm not exactly sure when you do your calendar, you know, do you try to have it out by November or December, and that it's a calendar year calendar? I noticed that if you do it in November, the prices sometimes are cheaper because everybody does their calendars in December. And so they can be a little less flexible in December, but a lot of those companies really are competing for your business, and they'll do about anything they can to steal you away from another calendar company.
Awesome. Okay, anyone else have questions? Don't be shy. You'll need to unmute yourself and just speak up since I can't see all of you at once.
I sent it to her, and I sent it again when I got that thing and told her to look down there below and hit on the link.
Norma, are you asking a question? Because if you are, we can't hear you. I think I'm gonna mute Norma. I think she's somewhere else. So I'm kind of curious.
We have found that placing the calendars in local businesses, and then we just check on them each weekly and pick up the proceeds and replenish their supplies, has worked really well for distributing the calendars.
So you actually let the company collect the money for you? Like, or do you have like a box there where they just stuff the money in, or how do you do that?
The businesses actually collect the money for us and set it aside, and then we just pick it up from them.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back and look in your PowerPoint because there was something in there I was going to ask about after you talked about the calendars. Yeah, you talked about going out and getting donation letters and even going door to door, asking people for donations. Did anyone have any questions about that?
That was for the auction.
Oh, that was for the auction. Okay.
Yeah.
Did anyone have questions about their auction?
Well,
Go ahead.
do you set it up at your facility, and how long does it run? Is it like just a one-day thing, or do you have a preview, or?
We do the auction after our potluck dinner that we have once a month, and we have it all set up so that before, during, and after the dinner, they can be bidding on the silent auction items. And then after the dinner, we clear everything away and have, while we're collecting all the silent auction bids, we have the live auction going on.
I see. And the live auction, how does that work?
The live auction, we've cut it down to using just a few items. We'll get maybe a piece of furniture, maybe a piece of artwork. A local carver has donated like walking sticks, hand carved walking sticks, things like that. We'll go on with the live auction during that. We also do a mystery box where we put in a whole bunch of small items, and then they bid on something that they don't even know what it is. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And folks really like a potluck too. So combining it with the potluck dinner. And do you ever have like music to like, you know, playing in the background or anything for any of that?
We actually have a potluck dinner that runs from 6:30 to 7:30 or to 7 o'clock. I'm sorry. At 7 o'clock, we have a program. This month we're doing the Brevard Music Center is going to be there to do a program. Next month we're doing someone from the Veterans Museum will be there. We're doing Quilts of Valor one month. So we have a different program that lasts about 45 minutes after the dinner, and it usually ties into something locally.
So at those monthly potlucks, do you get donations? Like, do you have a donation box, or do you actively try to get fundraise money or other than the auction? Auction?
No, the potluck is not to raise any money, but it's to raise awareness.
Right.
It gets everybody involved. It's a good volunteer recruitment option. And it tells everybody what's coming up and what we're using the funds for so that they can spread the word.
Yeah.
Great questions, Barbara. And I think it's so important to underscore how Cedar Mountain's doing such a good job stacking things together. So you've already got a crowd. That's when you want to recruit people for your events, recruit your volunteers, brag about what you're doing.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's a fantastic model to replicate in your own communities.
And Cedar Mountain is located where?
Just outside of Brevard,
Oh, okay.
about an hour from Asheville.
So if we wanted to bring a team of people out there and visit your site, could we arrange that?
Of course, we'd love to have you. Come on, come on. We always have the potluck on the second Monday of every month. Why don't you come during that time?
What time?
We put the food on the table at 6:15. We eat at 6:30. I'd love to
Okay.
welcome you. Just give me a heads up.
Okay.
Wonderful. I love this. Our communities visiting each other and learning from each other. That's exactly what we want. So I'm thrilled to hear you guys extend such a warm invitation. And thank you, Barbara, for your interest level, being willing to drive out there and check it out in person.
I have a brother who lives out there, so
Ah,
yeah, I
even
go out there
better.
too. Yeah.
I've lost your voice.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
There was one other thing. There was one other item that that Terie mentioned, which was about the chicken. Was it a chicken dinner?
Yeah, we did do it the last couple
Fundraiser
of
meal and a barbecue fundraiser, which brings in $1,000. Did anyone have any questions about either of those?
Yes, yeah. I want to know who you get to donate the chicken and the barbecue, because, you know, when we have those kinds of dinners, one of our biggest, you know, deductions from the profit is paying for the food. Do you just go to like Ingles and see if they want to donate chicken, or go to the local barbecue place? How do you do that?
Well, we're very fortunate. The local barbecue place, the person who owns it is a member of the board,
Oh, cool.
and another member of the board donates the chicken. So promote some of those local business members onto your board and you'll be able to get some freebies.
Yeah.
What an excellent tip, right? So be strategic about who you pull onto your board. Great. Well, Terie, this has been fantastic. And by all means, if you guys think of other questions later, we'll have more time for Q&A. So thank you again, Terie. And so now I'm going to invite Marsha to share a little bit about what's going on at Upper Laurel. So Upper Laurel was our third largest fundraiser, and they raised $14,295 in last year. And Marsha has been with Upper Laurel since 2004, and she's currently their treasurer. And she grew up there. And one of the things that really impressed me was they had a turkey shoot, which seemed to have raised a whole lot of money. So hopefully she's going to talk about that. So let me see if I can get her up on the screen. Oh, yeah.
My face. Just
yeah, we won't have your face. That's okay. But go ahead. Try to speak up a little bit so we can really hear all the great tips you're sharing with us.
Okay. Our turkey shoot was a huge success. The first thing in any fundraiser is you need to have some goal that you're looking to. What are you going to use the money for, or whatever? And we use our turkey shoot money. I've got a frog in my throat. We use our turkey shoot money to provide wood for shut-ins or elderly or sick people that cannot provide their heating for the winter. And we do, the year we raised 14,000, we had 2 turkey shoots that fall. And we usually do a turkey shoot. Well, we did 2 that year, but last year we only did 1, and this year we're only going to do 1 because we got enough wood ahead to buy your wood and let it be seasoning over the summer. And that way it's dry for people in the winter. The way they do their turkey shoots is they have raffles, and that brings in a lot of money because they have go to businesses and they donate items for us to raffle. And when they get the tickets and they pass them out to different individuals, and they go to their workplace or wherever they are and get people to sell the tickets, buy a raffle ticket. And then at the turkey shoot, they draw at the end. They sell them during the turkey shoot too, but at the end of the turkey shoot, they draw winners for these items that they have. They've had a chainsaw. They've had some mechanics that would give a service. We have people that would donate a gun. Just different items. What people that shoot guns would be interested in mostly. I didn't hear you.
Hey, Marsha, can I pause you for just one quick second? I'm sorry. I just want to check in with people to see if they can hear you. I can't hear you because there's a lot of background noise here in the office, but I'm wondering if others are struggling to hear you. Can everyone give me either a thumbs up or a thumbs down about whether you can hear? Okay, great. I see thumbs up from everyone. So I'll just mute myself and you keep going, Marsha. Thank you.
Okay. In the past, we have served food at lunch, and they would go to Ingles and different businesses, and they would donate things, bread and hot dogs and that kind of thing. We had hamburgers and hot dogs. And when they get, people would just give donations and didn't really charge. And then there was a lot of people that would just send money to this fund, make a donation. So we get $1,000 check from some people, and just people just pour it out, for that reason, for the wood. And we do a Blackberry Festival also, and that's going to be in July this year. And we make about $5,000 off that a year. We have vendors, we have food, we serve breakfast, and we serve lunch. And we have a white elephant sale or rummage sale, whatever you want to call it. Lots of goodies that drag people in. They'll come in for that kind of thing. And then we have back several years ago, we had a person in Laurel that gave us a house. So his family didn't want it, and he donated it to Upper Laurel, and we sold it. And we got a lot of money from that to help us with our renovation at Ebbs Chapel. So we're almost finished with our building. We've just finished a dining room, and we're working on a kitchen. We've got the groundwork for the kitchen, but we've got to have the stove and all the appliances. We've got to get that in. And then we've got one room and a bathroom left to finish, and we'll be through with our building.
Well, sure sounds like you've done a great job raising funds and putting them to great use. I loved what you said at the beginning, Marsha, about how it's really important to have a goal that everyone can get excited about.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of wanted to highlight that for everyone, how that motivated everyone.
One thing,
Pause right now and see if there's any questions so far about what you've shared. I can't really hear what you're saying, so I'm not really sure where you are in your presentation, so I apologize. If anyone has something they want to ask, please feel free to unmute yourself. Barbara?
I have a question. How does a turkey shoot work? I mean, are you actually shooting at targets, or how does that work?
they have a row of targets that they set up on the ball field.
Mhm.
You pay so much for one shot at the target, and then whoever gets closest to the target gets, they usually have gift cards or something they give out rather than a turkey. They used to have frozen turkeys or frozen hams, but they changed that and just give gift cards now.
So do you buy the gift cards in advance?
People donate those gift cards.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Great.
And the people that
I mean, this is, I've never been to a turkey shoot. So do you have people shooting at these targets? Do you replace the target for each person that shoots, and then
you'll have one round, and they
I see. Yeah. Okay. You have them set up.
into,
Okay.
then you get the papers off of the targets and declare your winners. And then
Mhm.
you put up another set of targets and have another round.
I see. All right.
And what did you say what the value is of the gift cards?
I'm not actually sure, 25 or so dollars, something like that.
That makes sense. We used to do them years ago from another time in my life, and we always gave away frozen turkeys. That way you kind of got the turkey thing. And it was usually held in November, which was near Thanksgiving anyway.
That's usually when we do ours, is in November. We're gonna have one this year. We've already got it scheduled.
Gift cards sound easier.
Yes.
Yeah. So do people pay an entry fee for the turkey shoot?
Yes.
How much is that?
I'm not sure what the fee is. I've never shot.
Okay.
Sure what they charge. But you'll have we have one group of people in our community that focus on this turkey shoot, and this is their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have another group that focuses on other things. Everybody,
Right.
can't pull everybody in on everything.
And I guess you have to have a pretty safe, specific place to have the turkey shoot and to also have, I don't know if it takes additional liability insurance or anything like that.
We have liability insurance, that's all I know about it. I don't know. They're real safe in it because they have a fence that people have to stay behind, and nobody goes into the area where except one person. That's after everybody has finished shooting. And then you unload your gun. You don't prepare for the next shoot until they get right ready to shoot. So it has to be a lot of safety in it.
Yeah, our problem at our community center is we do have a big baseball field, but there is not any safe place on that field to shoot guns,
Yeah.
There's not, because we got the road, we got houses on one side, and the rest of the sides, we got playground and buildings.
And I
we
suppose,
You can find another field in the community.
Yeah.
Shelton Laurel
Right.
is full of big fields that you could go to for that part.
You might could do that in another place. But we have a ball field, and beyond that ball field is just timber. There's not any houses beyond. it.
Right,
So it's a good safe place.
right.
Marsha, I'm curious, how many volunteers does it take? Do you have an estimate of that to put on a turkey shoot?
I would say 30, 40, in the neighborhood of that. counting, getting your raffle tickets and getting your raffles and getting your gift cards and the food. Might be more than that. It's a
Wow.
big crowd of people there on that day. And there's a lot of people that come out to that. So a lot of them give you their time and their money. I think they said they distributed 250 to 300 loads of wood to elderly people this year.
Wow, that's a lot of people you helped with staying warm.
That was not just in our community, but they go all over the county. And we do have people from some of the churches over the county that help us. They send us a donation.
Marsha, do you does your group follow up by putting some kind of article in the newspaper explaining, you know, all the benefit you've given to the community through your turkey shoot? Like, how do you promote it?
Word of mouth mostly. They advertise the turkey shoot in the paper and tell that it's for wood for the needy and elderly. And we put up posters advertising it.
Thank you. Anyone else have a question? Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Marsha. That was fantastic. And I have to say, I'm grateful to all of you for your questions. And Barbara, like you, I've never been to a turkey shoot. I literally thought it was people running through the woods trying to shoot turkeys. So
Well, I kind of thought you put up some kind of like fake turkey piñata or something. Do it that way. Or yeah, I've never been either, but you know, it sounds interesting.
Somebody said one time.
Great fundraiser for sure.
Somebody
I can
said
say from my dad's experience that there's a subculture in every rural area that loves a turkey shoot.
Well, I mean, it's competition on your marksmanship, you know.
Yeah. And that's where the fun comes in, because some shooters they just want to beat the other one real bad.
You're right, right.
They'll miss their mark just a little. Well, I'm going to try again, you know, and they go back and apply to shoot again. But somebody said one time, "What do you do? Turn a turkey loose out there and let it run and shoot and kill it?"
No wonder you guys make such good money doing that. They miss their shot, then they pay for another one and another one. Fantastic. Well, this has been really great. You guys have shared some fantastic ideas for how all the communities can try some new things. I'm curious, Shiloh also was one of our top fundraisers. If there's anything you want to share, or if any of the communities, actually, Barbara, you guys weren't exactly slouches at raising money either. So maybe there's other tips other people would like to share. We have just about 4 more minutes to do that if anyone wants to pipe up with an idea.
Well, I really think that there's been so many great ideas that I have heard. Shiloh is still trying to do the fundraisers. And like I said, when we had to break out, that the one we're doing now is GoFundMe. I can tell you about a fundraiser we did, and it's been some time ago. We sent out a little invitation, said, "Have a cup of tea on us." They were invitations, and I can't find it. I think I got one over there, but I have all this stuff here. And we sent it to the residents and asked for donations, and it went pretty well. I can't remember how much we raised, but one thing was costly was mailing everything out and then mailing the thank yous, you know, to the people once they donated. But it was really fun. We had a one of the ladies made a cute design with a teapot, and we put a tea bag in the invitation and say, have a cup of tea on us, and then asked if they would donate to the association. So that was a fundraiser that we did some time ago. The only thing
That's
about
certainly
it,
clever and simple, I would think. It doesn't take very many volunteers, probably.
right? Well, no, because it just, once we got the pattern of everything together and ran it off, we basically, put them in, bought the envelopes and put them in an envelope. And one day, if I can find it, I'll show everybody what I think I have one, what it looked like. And because we used the teapot that I had and just took the picture and did it. Everybody, they really responded to it because it was something different at that time. So they really responded to that.
Well, it sounds really clever and fun to me. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay.
Barbara, did you have one you wanted to share with us?
Yeah, something that's very important to me personally that I take a big part in organizing. It is a fundraiser, but it's an all county kind of event. Is we do a litter sweep contest every year in the county, and we get money donated to support that litter sweep from the Tourism Development Authority in Madison County. And Laurel Community Center, in the past, we've won top prize every single time, except this year we actually won second prize. But, we promote that all over the county through flyers and articles in the paper and advertisements, and did a little local radio show. And, but, my question would be, we only had, Madison County is a big county, and there's a lot of litter, unfortunately, especially on the back roads. It's just been hard to get people to participate in that. And, we have mailed out to school, we went to schools to try to get club folks interested in participating. We sent out letters to churches or emails. We had a list of churches, a good way to raise money for your youth group. So, despite all that, we only had 4 teams this year. And so if anybody has any ideas, one thing, we did pick up 475 bags of trash, and we had a total of 34 volunteers that participated out of those 4 teams. But most, it wasn't, we only had participation mostly in the Laurel part of the community, Big Laurel, and yeah. So Mars Hill, the winning team this year was from Mars Hill. But, if anybody has any ideas on how to promote that in the other parts of the county, I would appreciate it, because I'm at a wit's end on what else to do to promote that.
Barbara,
And I do think it's a great community service. So,
it is a good community service. How do you actually raise money from that? I'm curious.
well, we get the prize money through TDA. They give us like $3,000 in prize money, and the top prize is $1,000, but you got to work for that. So we count that as fundraising. So, and second prize would be 800, 600, 400, and 200 on down. So, it's a competition. So we can, but it's a great way for, quite frankly, I'm just surprised that, and don't take it on personally, and I'm surprised we didn't have more community centers in Madison County participating in that. Really, I don't know how to, people in the county all the time complaining on Facebook about the trash and the litter, and we given them opportunity to help, with that as a solution, and we just don't get much interest. So I guess I'm asking for any thoughts on that.
Does anyone have a helpful suggestion?
Well, I'm not sure this would apply to you because you're doing it on a huge scale. We just do a local pickup just on Old Fort Road. but we get donated Ingalls cards, and I go out the morning before and hide trash that's marked as being a prize item. And then whoever, as they move along picking up trash, they find that item, they get the Ingalls card. That's small stuff compared to what you're talking about, but it works for us.
Do you, I mean, is it a fundraiser or is it a community service?
It's just a community service.
Right. We adopt, like our community center, we've adopted a 4-mile stretch of road that runs along, you know, the community center. But yeah, that's a good idea though. It's a great idea.
That is a great idea, Ruth. Thank you. That's clever. The only other thing I thought of kind of harkens back to what Terie said earlier about how important it is to let people know how the funds will be spent to help motivate them to get engaged. So maybe if there was a way for people to understand, you know, hey, this is helping us raise $1,000 and we're going to use it this way, and you get them excited about that, then maybe they'd be more likely to show up.
Well, I promoted all over the county. My biggest, you know, it is an opportunity to win some money, but the most important thing is getting the trash picked up. So, you know, if you had 10 teams and the top, you know, they can choose to spend, it would be up to that team, each team, to promote it to their people. Right, you're correct. Like if you had a church picking up, then they would say, we're picking up for a trip to Dollywood or something, you know.
Any other last ideas before we close out today? All right, well, thank you all. This has been really chock full of fantastic ideas. So I appreciate each of you for being willing to share and inviting each other into your communities, all the great things you're doing to work together to build each other up. It's very moving to me. So thank you. So that's my checkout. Does anybody want to, usually we do just a quick round where everybody just says a few words about what they took away from today. So Evelyn, would you like to share something?
Yes, there were lots of good ideas. I like the one about the Walmart grant. I wasn't aware of that. And you know, we have collected historic art prints for years. We've won a state history award, one of the top 5 history awards in the state for it, but we never thought to do a calendar. So that's an easy idea for us. Yeah, easy idea for us to just translate our collection. I think at this point we have 26 or 7, and we're collecting another one to make a calendar out of it. So thank you.
Great. Barbara, did you want to check out?
I'm sorry. I didn't hear who you called.
Norma, did you want to check out?
Yes. I found the little flyer that we sent out, and I will probably share it with her. It's what we found. I found one, and we had the information about the association on here and where to send it back, and everything was all in this one little invitation. But thankful, so I have learned so much today. I really like the calendar idea, and also I mean, all the things that so many people have done. So I think Shiloh needs to step up their game and do something. So I know that we will be trying some of the things that I have learned today. And thank you so much.
Nina, you've been awfully quiet today. Did you want to check out with anything real quick? Do you see how to unmute yourself?
I've enjoyed it all. I just don't have much input right now because we're still trying to get ideas. I'm sorry. Still trying to get ideas how to get more people involved. But I've enjoyed all of the things that everyone is doing. That's a lot of work. And a lot of it, sometimes it goes unnoticed, but you seem like y'all are really getting things done. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Barbara, would you like to go next?
Yes, Mike, I wanted to know how to access the recording or the whatever information is going to be available to us about this meeting.
I'll be emailing that out, so you'll
Okay.
get it in an email. You'll be able to click on a link that takes you straight to the video.
Good, because there are a lot of things I'd like to go back and listen to again.
Okay, great.
And yeah.
I'm thrilled to hear you got value out of it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ruth?
We've tossed around the idea of a calendar in the past, and so I think we're going to revisit that. I feel a little more like I know what might be involved. And the turkey shoot is a great idea. We do a lot of fundraising by having gun classes, and so that, we have quite a few shooters around. So that's a great one.
Thank you. Nancy? You got to unmute yourself. Nancy, unmute yourself.
Okay, got it. I like the idea of the calendars. And there's one last thing that I told the breakout group, but I didn't tell the other group. It has been real successful. We did plaques. You can go to whoever makes plaques, and there's one that holds 50 little plates. And just as an example, we have one for veterans, honoring the veterans, and people will pay $25 to have their child or uncle or aunt or grandpa or whoever participated in your community and the veterans, and you engrave their names on the plates. And so the overall thing where the 50 is like $1,250, and it costs about $200 to $250 to do the plates and to buy the things for it. And so, but it has been one that we made about $7,000 out of the 7 that we have at Unaka. And you display them. They're very classy. You display them on the wall, and it's a really good fundraiser.
Wow, I'm amazed you made
That's
that
a
much
good
money
idea.
from that. Fantastic. Cool, thanks for that. Terie, would you like to check out? Oh, please unmute. Well, we can't get you. That's okay. We'll come back. Marsha, would you like to check out?
I'd like to check out. I appreciate everybody's listening to me, and I didn't have too much of a notice as to what I was going to be doing. So I hope I helped out a little bit.
You were a shining star. We appreciate you tremendously.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Well, once again, thank you to our speakers. We so appreciate you, taking the time to put together your presentations and sharing with us all of your wonderful ideas and successes so that we can all be more successful. And next coffee hour it's always the first Wednesday of the month. Let me see what that is. That's going to be June 1st. And the topic is going to be rental income. So just like today, I've invited our top rental income communities to share how did they do it. So be sure to come to that one. And thank you all so much for coming. We'll see you next month.